Hi guys, hello, me to everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and today I'm going to talk to you briefly about something that we're going to be doing in the next few days, or next week or so actually. It's not going to be this week, but next week. What started out as a simple little project to program my new phone system has become a great opportunity to show you a heck of a lot of potential things that you may run into as a hobbyist if you're into telephone systems. And one of the things is some people have computers that are running software emulators. Some people have old ancient computers from the age of, well, Windows 98 anyway. And some people are using Linux. And some computers don't have actual RS-232 ports. Some do, some don't, and a lot of good things. So what we're going to do, because they're going to cover a lot of different topics in the demonstration, I'm not coming up in the next couple weeks. We're not going to do it all in one sitting. It's just ridiculous, okay? First of all, it would make you physically get a bit constipated, digitally speaking. So what we'll do is we're going to talk about setting up the Merlin Legend system using both MS-DOS software and the Windows software. Unfortunately, there is also a Unix software, but I don't have it. I can go on the Avaya forums and see if I can find it. But the problem is with Unix is it's probably was written for AT&T System 5, and so it's probably not gonna do much good to Linux users anyway. So unless you can compile the source code yourself, which I got a feeling Avaya isn't so willing to give the source out to anybody. I'm sure somebody may have came up with an alternative, but right now we're using their software. For the MS-DOS version, we're using the DOS SPM 7.14, which is a version recommended for the Merlin processors running release 7, which is mine, is running the CKE 5 edition. I'll probably be here next week, so that's not here yet. So tomorrow, the Merlin MLX, the Merlin 408 GS/LS MLX board, which is the incoming line board, and 408 MLS extensions will be here tomorrow. That will be used in concert with the Merlin 408 LS analog telephone extension board, which we already have in our Merlin 2 system. And I can show you the difference between the Merlin processor for the Legend and the Merlin 2, even though my Merlin 2 is now, the processor is really just dead. I don't know how to fix it. I tried to recap it. It didn't make a difference. I tried to, that's why I said long ago, we'll just end up upgrading to a Merlin Legend system, and that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to show you, it's relatively a straightforward process. And in fact, it is. In fact, you may not even need the MLX board, but if you're going to eventually want the MLX phones, such as the MLX 20L console phone, yeah, you're going to need the MLX board. So it's just like with the Merlin 2 display console phone, you got it, which is a special console. You can use it with the analog ports on the 408 as a very fancy phone, but you won't be able to actually program nothing on the system with it anymore. But you can still use it to make and receive phone calls, and of course, transfer calls to extensions. So if you want to have it as a second or third operator session, you can have it on that analog board. That's something we'll be doing with. And then, of course, like I said, also we have coming up is, well, what if your computer doesn't have a serial port? Well, I have a couple different USB to RS-232 adapters I can show you. One is made by Keyspan, which is a really expensive piece of kit, mind you. There's the keyspan, USA 49W, which is a very nice 4-port to USB adapter, and it does have a Linux driver, and it also has a Mac driver as well, so I know because I have it. And also I just downloaded and installed on the my existing Power Mac G5 the second driver for the second one, which is made by FTDI, which is using the FT-2320L chipset. This device is a single port unit, and it's actually got a cable. And in fact, originally for my applications I was using it for, I had to take out the little riveted nubs because I couldn't plug it directly into my modem. And I figured, why not? It's actually can be used as its own cable, so why do I need to have an adapter sitting on top of it when I want to plug it straight into my computer? Duh. Okay, so it plugs right in to the modem, which has a 9-pin, which is my Hayes modem, and also my my Braille Intel modem for the deaf, which works the same way. I'll be telling all this stuff to you a little bit. If you listen, I'll be calculating out the permutations and combinations here. You're going to get a huge number of possibilities of what you can do with what. And I'm not going to sit there and give you all those in one sitting. Because, like I said, you'll get digital indigestion. You'll be like, ugh. I mean, which one am I supposed to do? First she's talking about this, and then she's talking about that, and then she's talking about these, and then she's talking about those. So we're not going to go there. We're going to just go focus on one thing at a time. And we're going to start by talking about when you have a real, honest-to-God serial port on a computer. Both running on, which is one computer, okay, which is running Windows XP, and running MS-DOS 6.22. So this is the actual hardware option first for accessing the Merlin processor for programming. We're going to be making the cable today to actually connect the processor to the computer using the EIA-561 standard. To DE9 cable. That's, never mind all the fancy stuff, but it's a RJ45 to DB25 connector that uses the EIA-561 wired configuration. So that's it's an EIA standard, so it's not like somebody came out of the closet with that idea. So, I don't have any DB25 ports, so I'm not going to bother to show you a DB25 port one because I don't have a DB25 port on my computer's use. But on the other hand, if you do happen to have a DB25 based serial port, there are cables available for it. I do have one computer that has one, but unfortunately its UART is not the standard. I'm talking about the Data General DG1. Duh! Like, if you guys could have at least standardized, that would have been great. But right now, that's not the case. And we'll also be, then the next week after that, we're going to show using a software emulator called VirtualBox under Linux, again, running MS-DOS and Windows XP. Also, again, using the DOS SPM and the Windows SPM 9. So that will be another demonstration for you, so you'll be able to see that one under VirtualBox and Linux. Then, for the next test, which is kind of really short, I might just throw it in at the same time because it's really not that big of a deal. What if you don't have a built-in USB port? Okay, there you go. Sure. Throw that in too, so that you'll be able to show how can you still program either with DOS SPM or Windows SPM under VirtualBox with something such as the FTDI FT232RL dongle. Okay, because that's relatively short. It's not a big deal. I also found out that there's a really strange service out, and I never saw that. I really should focus this on a separate story. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do that, because this technical one is kind of long. So let me end this, and then I'll come back, and we will start on a regular vlog for today. Okay?